Coming to you live from a new era of White Sox baseball. Wow, it's kind of weird to say. It's the Believe in the Southside Boys. I am Steve-O. You can find me on Twitter at DrunkShySoxFan. And joining me, as normal, as always.
What's going on? It's Andrew Vaughn. Just joking. It is time for Andrew Vaughn, but it is your boy Carey here. You can find me on Twitter at ThatBaseballFan. I might even, because of Elon, get the real baseball fan back. So we're getting excited here. So lots of stuff going on in the White Sox world, Steve. So definitely necessary that we hopped on and, talk some baseball.
Absolutely. And it's been a while since we've done one of these. Life happens. We had a guest lined up that was supposed to join us either last week or the week before.
Adam.
Yep, we'll just throw him right underneath the bus. Adam, come on, man. Our buddy Adam from KC, our KC Sox fan, who has not joined us for an episode yet. So we figured we got to get the train back rolling. Hopefully we'll get him on soon. But Carey, how was your Thanksgiving? What's new in your world?
I got fatter, but it was a great time. Definitely got to get back into the gym this week, but food was great. Can't lie that, can't lie there. Won some money on Thanksgiving football and, good to see the family. So
there you go.
And I know you were up in Michigan. So how was yours?
A nice solid 5 nights. Yeah, like 5 nights up there. Wow. It was good. The food was mid. I'll say that much. I'll be honest. I'm a little critical of my father-in-law's cooking. I think I need to take over the turkey.
You shouldn't be saying this on
I am. I don't care. I'm glad that we're here to talk about me being bald. I'm glad that we're here to talk Thanksgiving and White Sox baseball. Luke. Yes, we're here to talk White Sox baseball. Let's hop right into it. You know what? I had a segment that I wanted to do, Carey, and that was reasons I'm thankful to be a White Sox fan. Okay? I wanted to tie this into Thanksgiving. So let me start there. Let's start with the hot topic right now.
Mm-hmm.
Jose Abreu is no longer a White Sox. And I do have to start by saying this. Thank you, number 79. Right over there. The jersey's hanging up right there underneath the bobbleheads. Thank you, number 79, for a hell of a time on the South Side. I'll go deeper into that, Carey, and ask a couple questions, but I want to hear your thoughts.
Yeah, I mean, Jose's gone. People are upset. Sox Twitter is kind of like, giving them their thank yous and all that. And, we talked about this before, but I don't think people are going to like my answer, but get over it. I mean, he's gone. There's nothing, who cares? I mean, like, he was great for the White Sox. I mean, he had a great career for them, but people got to remember, we were all upset back in 2014 that Jose Abreu was replacing Paul Konerko, who won the World Series for the White Sox, right? Yeah. So, you got to pass the torch eventually, and the White Sox aren't in a position to have the luxury to keep a Jose Abreu because of their dumbass GM. So this is the result of that. So yeah. Jose's gone. He's making a lot of money, and he's going to a team that can win and maybe help him out in his career. I mean, they've helped pitchers, all of a sudden become Cy Young winners at 39 years old. I'm curious to see what they can do with Jose Abreu at what is he? He's going to be 36 or 36.
I mean, think of his accolades, right? I mean, we're talking Rookie of the Year. We're talking MVP. What's his major accolade that he's missing? He's got to chase that ring, right?
Yeah.
And
I want him to win one.
Right. I want him to win one too.
Hope he does. I hope he does.
Honestly, I hope he doesn't, because I think these next 3 years are the White Sox window to do it before they blow it up again. I know that it sure doesn't feel like it after this past season. But even our guy Jordan Miller here says it was inevitable that Jose Abreu was leaving. And yeah, I mean, you can blame it on the way too that Rick Hahn has constructed this lineup and the way in which the money has been spent. Has the money been spent? Yeah, it has. It's just been spent in the wrong places. We've said that on this podcast before. However, we're not in a place to pay a first baseman $20 million a year.
When you have 4 of them on the roster.
Right, exactly. And you spent a third overall pick or fourth overall pick. Somebody help me out here again with
I
Andrew
think he
Vaughn.
was the third.
I believe he was the third as well. Madrigal was number 4, right? So,
Ugh.
it's your favorite, Carrie. Come on, pull out the
Yeah,
T-shirt
you
for
don't know what you're
everybody.
talking about.
So, hey, I'd love him back at second base. Actually, to be honest with you,
Don't ever say that shit again.
I'll take it at this point.
God.
With currently looking at the White Sox lineup, especially who might be playing second base opening day, Larry Legend. So the White Sox need to go spend that $20 million a year elsewhere. It can go be spent in other places. The White Sox aren't like the Astros with a shit ton of homegrown talent that's already proven themselves. And then they have this reserve of money that they can go spend on a veteran player like Jose Abreu in a gap that's first base in their lineup. The White Sox aren't in that position, okay? And then you've got, as you already said, Carrie, an onslaught of first baseman. You've got Gavin Sheets. You've got Andrew Vaughn.
Jose Abreu. I mean, not Jose Abreu. You got Grandal.
Yeah, exactly. Yasmani Grandal is a more useful first baseman than catcher these days.
Either he's got to DH some games to keep him healthy. So it's just, we all knew this was coming. So that's why, like, people making it a surprise or like, oh, they did it, blah, blah, blah. It's like, you knew this was happening.
Yeah.
So
and the deferrals are not really that big of a thing. It's $1 million a year from the Sox. It really isn't much.
That's Jerry saying, here you go, buddy. Thanks for everything.
Exactly. And you know what? Back on the topic of thankful, man. I mean, we have a lot of things to be thankful for with Jose Abreu, right? Like let's highlight this first before we give him the au revoir, you know. I've been called a Jose Abreu blasphemer in the past. So be it. I'm hella critical of the guy because I've always had high expectations for him, right? He's the number 1 player coming out of Cuba. This guy was absolutely supposed to rake. So my expectations were already super high. I mean, you spent all of your international bonus pool money on number 79. And he proved it, right? Rookie of the year, MVP. Is number 79 going to be hanging up in the rafters? I don't know. Possibly, right? I mean, it'll at least be considered. He stuck it out through the hard years. He was the only shining spot in a sea of shit with this organization. From 2014 to 2020. Think about all of those shitty years of White Sox baseball. And Jose Abreu was the one shining star in all of it, right? Name another really good player during that time that played for that many years or even played more than 5. Like Chris Sale, are you going to throw in there? That's about it. It's like Jose Abreu and Chris Sale. He brought this
White
team.
Sox first baseman lineage.
Exactly, right?
Great, you know,
and that's perfect. I'm going to get there too. You know, I mean, he brought this team back to relevance too, and he's the linchpin of this Cuban wave that the White Sox have, right? The Moncada, the Grandal, the
Robert.
Robert. Is Colas Cuban? Colas is Cuban.
Yeah, he's Cuban.
There you go. Exactly. Yeah, that's right. Cuban Otani.
Cespedes.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Yoelki. Right. So I mean, you've got that. He was the linchpin of all of that too. Now, yeah, I mean, you brought up the whole passing of the baton, right? You've got the passing of the baton from starting with Frank Thomas, passing it on to Konerko, passing it on to Jose Abreu. Jose Abreu now passing it on to Andrew Vaughn. This is the position that you want to be in right now. You're not going to pay. I know you let him walk, and some people see that as unforgivable, but it's what the franchise needs to do in order to get better as a team holistically. You can find a masher first baseman out on the market or a masher DH, which is what the White Sox need. If you want another bat, you go and get a DH right now because Andrew Vaughn is 25 years old?
I think
and he's ready to play first base.
Yeah.
So go ahead and do it and go spend your money elsewhere. I hope they don't go spend it on DH. I hope they go spend it on an outfielder. But I digress, Carrie. I'm grateful for Jose Abreu and what he brought to this ball club, but it is time.
Yeah. And like I've already said it, but we knew this was coming, and the Sox had to, get creative the past 2 years with the influx of first baseman / DH. So, Jose was the casualty. I mean, the other guys cost less money. So, in White Sox fashion, you're hoping the word hope. White Sox love the word hope. hoping that a Gavin Sheets can make an impact, hoping that Andrew Vaughn can finally be that 30 home run hitter guy because he's going to be comfortable in his position, right? So that's the result of, Jose Abreu. So hopefully they, I know that, and I know we wanted to talk about this too, but they just signed a pitcher as well, and they just spent $12 million on him on a fifth starter, which doesn't upset me at all. That could upset other people. So, so
sorry, Carrie.
You can't just do that.
I know. And this is why you should join us on YouTube. The comment section is always live. So we appreciate everybody that comes in and joins us for these episodes. So back on the topic of being thankful and the White Sox taking a different direction, Carrie. There's a free agent addition to this ball club.
Dirty Clev.
Sunshine himself. Mike Clevinger.
Yeah.
Sunshine.
You know what's funny is 2 years ago, I distinctly remember being on White Sox Twitter and people were fucking up in arms that they didn't go and get Mike Clevinger. And now that we have him, and he's our current fifth starter, people are upset. Come on. I mean, I'm fine with this move. Look at his stats. He would have even been better than our fifth starter, and that's a year coming off of another Tommy John surgery. So, I'm pretty sure they definitely talked with Ethan Katz about this, and he probably knows what he can do with this type of guy. And there's got to be some type of connection, and I think he'll be fine. I mean, to throw Mike Clevinger out there as your fifth starter, I mean, I love Johnny Cueto and everything like that, but that was such an outlier, year. Clevinger is going to be at least halfway decent, and in White Sox fashion, Jesus Christ, senor. When in White Sox fashion, you can hope for him to have the Cleveland years that he had. So
we'll see. Yeah, and I know people are talking about 12 million because the original number that John Heyman tweeted out was over 8, right? He said over 8 million, and I guess he was right about over. It's 12 million, right? And you might want to argue that 12 million is steep. But you're buying on his upside, right? This is what you get on a 1-year deal for a starter. I think people are forgetting that Mike Clevinger being 12 million for a year. What did the White Sox pay for Ivan Nova in 2019 for 1 year? Does anybody remember? It was over 9 million.
Yeah.
They paid over 9 million to Ivan fucking Nova. Okay.
It's just
a guy who can't even sniff Mike Clevinger's shit even now. So I'm cool with it. I'm absolutely cool with the signing. And the more I think about it, the more I like it because you get him in the Cats lab. He's going to fix up the rotation. He's got a long rotation, just like Lucas Giolito did before. And shout out to the CHGO guys, Sean Anderson and my guy Herb Lawrence, who pointed out that this might be a Giolito type of fix.
Yeah.
The way Cats fix Gio, he might be able to do the same with Clevinger. And I'm not getting my hopes up that high. I'm not saying that Clevinger is going to be the 1.0 whip, the sub 3 ERA guy that he's been at his peak. Literally, if he is our third best starter, I'm ecstatic. I'm over the moon. I think if he's any better than that, we've got other problems. So
100%. No, I like the move. And quick plug, I know you just mentioned the CHGO guys, but I'm actually going to be on their show on Thursday. So I will be on CHGO with Sean and Herbie. So I'm pretty excited about that. So definitely plug the podcast here. So
that, you know what that sounds like? It sounds like Hot Girl Era is back on.
Oh, Hot.
With all you guys together in that studio, that's gonna be fantastic. I cannot wait. Yes, you absolutely will need to plug Believe in the South Side for us.
Of course.
But, I'll definitely be tuning into that. I'm very excited. Is that going to be a late night episode?
No, 3 p.m. So I'm taking a half day off of work.
I'm gonna have to sneak on there.
Yeah.
So
I'm gonna take a half day and just, go to the city and, just what's it called? Get on there and it's gonna be fun, especially with everything that's going on. I mean, there's movement in Sox baseball. Something could even happen, today, who knows? I mean, I think Senor just told us right here that Cueto to the Astros, because I did see him change his profile picture to like a picture of him and Dusty Baker. So
wait, is that official?
Yeah,
That's
I saw
crazy.
it.
Oh my
I saw
God.
it. I saw it on Twitter. So that's why I think Senor was
Well,
saying it
Jose
too.
Abreu is going to have a buddy back. And obviously Cueto is going to be able to be with his OG manager from Cincy. So that's crazy.
Yeah, if you look, his new profile picture is.
Oh wow.
So
I love that. Good for them. Good for them. Yeah. Oh, that's not what I meant to put up there. That's hilarious. I did not mean to put that comment up on the screen. This is why you should join us live. Again, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for those of you that tune in, via your favorite podcast platform, whether it be Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Pocket Casts, wherever you listen, even through the Believe Network website. We're part of the Believe Podcast Network. But this is the comment I meant to put up. We're talking about left-handed pitchers as well, too. And obviously, you want the White Sox to have a little bit more diversity in their rotation when it comes to pitching, because you got all right-handed starters right now. But I think the White Sox are allergic to left-handed starters after the Dallas Keuchel deal.
Yeah. And I'm okay with it, to be honest. Just get good pitchers. It's hitting where you're like, get a fucking left-handed hitter, Rick, or you're just gonna keep on just looking like the idiot that you are. So I'm okay if your current rotation is Dylan Cease, and then you have Lance Lynn coming off of that injury where he looked better at the second half of the season, and then you have why am I missing someone? You have Giolito, right? Clevinger. And I know I'm missing somebody. Who am I missing? Why am I?
You're talking about the rotation right now?
Yeah. Who am I missing?
Cease,
Oh, wait,
Gio.
no, I said Cease. Cease, Gio, Clevinger,
Lynn.
Yeah.
And Kopech.
Kopech, I forgot.
Good
See,
to
that's
go.
who I always forget about is Kopech. Also, Michael Kopech coming off of a year where he's finally like starting. I think that he might have to be he'll be stretched out, and I think he'll have a better year than he did last year. More experience. So, I think what the White Sox and Rick Connor are doing is typical White Sox move, is hoping for these guys to all bounce back, and if they do, you can have one of the nastiest rotations in baseball. If Giolito comes back to 2019 or 2020 form, your rotation's good. Lance Lynn comes back, he's good. You could have a very solid rotation.
Yeah,
a lot of hope in there, though.
There's a lot of hope, but there's also a lot of potential. I mean, we've seen greatness out of those starting pitchers.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm optimistic, Carrie. Maybe it's the Thanksgiving holiday spirit, but I'm feeling optimistic and I'm thankful. And you know what? I want to continue down this thankful route. And I'm thankful that this ball club, with some of the changes that we're seeing, there's also regime change, man.
Mm-hmm.
There's new staff members everywhere. And obviously, we've already been on and talked about the Pedro Grifol signing, or pardon me, I guess it's a hiring. And Charlie Montoyo joining him as bench coach. Mm-hmm. But, I mean, we've got more than that, too, right? First off, you kept
our manager.
Yeah, I mean, but you've got Ethan Katz, obviously the one piece to stay. But I've read in the news over the past week, we've got Chris Johnson, who was promoted from Charlotte. He's the hitting coach down in Charlotte. I think that's going to be an excellent addition to the staff. And then I'm not sure if you saw the news on Jeff Head, which is a really fucking funny name.
I love that name, and I want
Jeff
that jersey.
Head.
Jeff Head.
I need a Head jersey. Absolutely.
Oh yeah, that's a Steve jersey. Jeff Head.
Please,
he's the new
Senior Director of Sports Performance.
There it is. So like the new essentially the head of the new training and all that shit that's been terrible the past few years, right?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, that training staff has been absolutely horrific since 2019, 2020. And it's been mostly the same guys, right? Ever since the Herm Schneider turnover, right? We've seen the same guys
Our
in
boy
place.
Billy Wires loves Herm Schneider.
It's that waddle, man. It's that waddle that he used to have out to the pitcher's mound. That was my favorite. Yes, I'm pumped. I'm absolutely pumped about this coaching staff from top to bottom.
Yeah. I gotta agree. It's something different than, the ancient crypt keeper that you had with Tony La Russa at the helm and Shelley Duncan, who probably didn't know where he was half the time when you just look at him, and Miguel Cairo, who, was okay, right? Now you have a manager that cares about analytics and brought it up in the freaking, meeting, but he knows that you can't just rely on it, but he's known for it, right? He's known for helping guys, like the Grandals and some guys that like kind of lost their swing, like a Mustafison, help them change that up, and Chris Johnson helped Gavin Sheets. So they've brought in a more analytical approach that the White Sox have really not had, in a long time. So I'm excited about that, and hopefully that helps. I mean, sometimes just doing that can change the entire landscape of a team. So, I think they're not going to be able to get away with half the shit they did with Tony, and this guy Grafal is going to make them work. And I think that's needed with guys like Moncada and Luis and Eloy, and not to be a Jordan Miller, but that's just what I think. So,
there's just got to be a mentality change, right? There's got to be that idea that we're going to go out and we're going to win every single ball game. We're going to go out there and we have enough talent on the field to kick your ass. Mm-hmm. And that's the attitude that I think Pedro Grafal brings. And I think the coaching staff that he's going to surround himself with, that he's already surrounding himself with, brings to this team as well, which is extremely, extremely exciting to think about. Some people call me Maurice. Sorry, I had to. The comment section. Once again, absolutely phenomenal. Thank you, everybody. Speaking of being grateful, Carrie. What's up?
Nothing.
Oh, comments. You know what? One thing that I'm thankful for as a fan, the last couple things I'm thankful for, Carrie, as a fan. Did you hear about this bar that's being built outside the park?
Yeah, I did. Good. I mean, there's really not much going on out there besides a few bars, but why not just do something different? They're trying to attract more fans any way they can, because they know the team ain't what it was, sought out to be. So they have to do anything they can. So why not?
No, absolutely. I mean, I love it. I think it's absolutely fantastic that, that they're bringing more things in. Like you got to do something to build up the area around the park. And I mean, I know you've got Cork and Turtles across the street. I know that a little further off you can get to a couple other places by foot.
But this is like at the park.
And you've got the Shy Sox Bar and Grill, but there's got to be a little bit more, right? And I'm not saying that you have to go whole ballpark village like Atlanta does, or even what they've done to Wrigleyville, but a little bit more than just tailgating, right? Or going across the street and getting plastered at Cork, right? There's got to be some more around the area, and I would absolutely love to see them build up the surrounding area more. I'd love to see Bridgeport and the ballpark area get a little bit more foot traffic.
Yeah, no, I agree. And some of these comments are wild, especially Luke's about you, Steve. So I think it's funny and true.
Hold on, I got to read this about singing high tends to hit the pen out in the open. That's just not true. Luke there's a funny story behind that. In San Francisco, we had weed products. Wait, jeez. Seniors are just absolutely making fun of me. It's fantastic. I can't stop laughing. But Luke hit his pen, and I got in trouble for it. Long story short.
That's amazing.
That's just so on brand, because I just look like,
you look like you're getting into some shit. I have that face too. Don't worry about that. So,
yes, I can't wait for the 500 level bar, baby. I am going to be holding it down. They are going to hang my picture up, and no, we do not do that. We drive safe. So, Carrie, last thing I'm thankful for before I hand it over to you if you've got anything to add to this. I want to thank, and this is perfect. I want to thank everybody for tuning in, and I want to thank the community that surrounds this fan base. I know that's corny and that's cheesy, but I know at least I've gotten to build friendships with people that I never would have before, gotten to experience things I never thought I would, be able to create content that people actually tune in for, and be a part of content that's way bigger than us. You doing CHGO, I did it.
You did it already,
season. It's just really cool, and I'm very, very blessed and grateful for it, even though everybody is just torching me in the comments for it. But I gotta stay true to who I am and be blessed, and feel blessed, and say that I'm blessed by all of this and all of you.
Yeah,
even you, Jim.
It's definitely a fun community. I mean, I can't wait to see Senor at a Sox game finally, even though, he's been saying he's going to go for the past like 3 or 4 years now. But no, it's definitely a good time. I mean, doing this is a lot of fun. And I love talking White Sox baseball. So the fact that we get to, meet other people and have group chats and shit like that are absolutely hilarious and bonkers. And and then 108 days coming up, January, and I know a lot of us are going to be there, especially Jim. Jim's the most excited to be there. But yeah, it's a great time. I mean, 108 days is going to be phenomenal. Steve, you were passed out on the floor. I just remember you being passed out on the floor, and me, Billy, and Adam roaming around Chicago at 4 a.m. So
yes, going to pick up Rosati's. You guys were a godsend that night. I blame Prof's edibles. Those were supercharged.
Yeah, I mean, unbelievable. So yeah, it's a great time. I mean, I love this. I love doing this shit. So yeah, that definitely gotta agree. I'm thankful for all that too.
Yes. And hopefully I agree with you, Spag. I think it would be fantastic if the panel's going on and I walk in half an hour late and then I get told to shut the fuck up.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Again, I think that would be absolutely amazing. And yes, you know what? I don't know if Billy's going to be there at 2 a.m.
He's going to be with us.
We'll call you with us. So yeah, Senor, since I'm still not convinced you're a real human being.
He's not real.
No, he's not real. Carrie, we're closing in on the half hour mark. And we had a lot to talk about. But we actually crammed it into a half hour. Amazing.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure our next show will be on, either the next trade or the next, free agent that the White Sox, pick up or lose or, something like that. So, we'll be back on soon. But Rick, just get some left-handed bats, man. You got a pitcher. You showed up the starting pitching. Get some fucking hitters that hit left-handed. Go get Colton Wong. He's available in Milwaukee. Go get just Brennan Nimmo. Go get Conforto. Just do it. Just stop being a pussy and do it.
That's all I'll say. No, I absolutely. You know that perfectly said, Carrie. I really can't add on to that. And I know Jordan is being told to shut up in the comments, but it is true. The winter meetings are starting Monday. It's time for Rick Hahn to be active. I love that they already went out and they set the market for a starting pitcher. They went out and got Clevinger. Your starting pitching's fine. The bullpen will come together. Rick,
don't get any bullpen. I swear to fucking God.
Do not go get a bullpen arm. You've already got too much
hitters,
money wrapped
lefty
into that shit.
Lefty hitters.
Yes, a left-handed bat, preferably one that can play in the outfield and give you solid defense. Cough, Brandon Nimmo.
Pick up Brandon Nimmo or Conforto as a free agent. Trade for Colton Wong. He will not be that expensive. He's got a year left. So just lefties or pick up Gene Segura. Just do something. Solid players. That's all I want to say. So
it's really not asking for too much.
No.
Well, once again, to those of you that tuned in, thank you so much. I appreciate all of you that were in the live comments, having us rolling per usual. Giving us some great content to bank, keep this conversation rolling. And hell yeah, we'll be back at it, talking more Sox baseball, hopefully free agent acquisitions, maybe a trade, who knows, right? And I think that's what makes this offseason so exciting is, hey, Thanksgiving just hit and we're already on the edge of our seats waiting to see what's going to happen.
Absolutely.
So, and for those of you that are tuning in, listening on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, wherever, thank you for doing that. For those of you that want to go back and listen as well, we've got just go ahead, hit that subscribe button. Make sure you rate us 5 stars or whatever. Just don't rate us 1 star like Jordan Miller did. Take it back, Jordan. We'll see y'all later.
Did it.
He absolutely did.
Oh, yeah.
Have a good night, everybody. We'll see y'all around.